months, I have been using Ole Henriksen skincare exclusively, and yes, that is the proper way to pronounce Ole Henriksen. If you are new to my channel, this is a series I've been doing. I've already reviewed Drunk Elephant, Tatcha, Sunday Riley, and Kylie Skin. All of those videos will be linked down below. The only products I allow myself to use from other brands are face masks, and if the brand I'm testing is missing a crucial step in my routine, then I will substitute that product from another brand. For example, Ole Henriksen, unfortunately another brand that doesn't have any SPF, so I did just use my favorite instead. I will have it linked down below. Ole Henriksen is a Scandinavian skincare brand that was originally created in a spa. They actually have a spa location that you can visit if you're in LA. Given the kind of spa theme and origin, their products focus a lot on very pleasant scents and textures, and they say their products combine active ingredients with natural botanicals and essential fatty acids. Their products are free of sulfates, parabens, mineral oil, formaldehyde, triclosan, etc. And all of their products go through rigorous testing and evaluations for stability, toxicity, and safety. When you guys first started requesting Ole Henriksen as a brand review, I was like, oh, that'll be a piece of cake, because I used to work at Sephora as a skincare consultant, and Ole is kind of like a key brand in Sephora, so I already felt like I was really well acquainted with the Ole Henriksen products, and I knew they had recently gone through like a rebranding and changed up their packaging, which I love the look of their products, by the way. But I did not realize how much had changed, how many products they had added and discontinued. When I was looking at the brand again for the first time, I was like, there are so many new products. So this review was a really great way for me to kind of rediscover the brand. So as per usual, let's take a quick look at some photos of my bare skin throughout this experience. We're going all the way back to early July. This was when I had just finished using Kylie Skin for 1 month. I don't feel like my skin looked bad here. I was a little bit red. I was looking like a little bit dull from using that foaming cleanser for an entire month, but all in all, not too bad. As you guys know, I always give myself some time to kind of add the products into my routine gradually, so I'm not just starting a whole new routine all at once. So here's a photo of when I had like kind of just transitioned to my Ole Henriksen routine, and then here is a photo 2 weeks in using just the Ole Henriksen products. I was actually really pleased with how my skin was looking here. I felt like my clarity was improving. My skin was starting to look brighter. Here's a photo at the official 1 month mark. I did have that breakout on the corner of my mouth. If you guys saw my Hanicure mask review, this was around the time that I filmed that video. I always take my progress photos first thing in the morning, by the way, so that is why I always look like a complete mess. But finally, here are a couple photos from this week, and finally this morning when you guys are watching this video, and you can see kind of my progress and everything in my final result. Finally, before we get into the products, everything mentioned in today's video will be linked down below as always. I also like to link value sets when I do these brand reviews. Right now we're at the time of year where holiday sets are out, and Ole Henriksen does have some really great ones, so those will be linked below too, in case you want to try out the brand without fully committing. My skin type will also be in the description box if you're new, and I'm also going to link my little headband and my lip color and everything like that, because I always get questions. And I do have to give my usual disclaimer, and that is that this video is not sponsored, but Ole Henriksen did send me these products, so huge thank you to them, because that is how I make these comprehensive brand reviews possible. And if you are already subscribed to me, then you already know I am always 100% honest. I will always tell you guys exactly how I feel about a product, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It doesn't matter how I got the products, or even if I am sponsored, because I will only work with brands that allow me to share my genuine feedback. And if you are new here, you will see that very quickly. But let's go ahead and start dissecting my Ole Henriksen skincare routine. So we are starting off with the product that I've been using to remove my makeup basically all summer, and that is the Wonderfeel Double Cleanser. So this cleanser is basically meant to be like a double cleanse in one step. However, you guys know I never like to rely on one product to both remove my makeup and actually cleanse my skin, so I did still use this as my first cleanser. So this product is meant to be like a modern take on your classic cold cream. It's formulated with a very hydrating blend of olive, borage seed, and apricot oils. It also does come with a cloth for removal, which is currently somewhere in my laundry bin. This is the only product I have from the Ole Henriksen Nurture line. This line is meant primarily for dry and sensitive skin, and all the Ole Henriksen products and their lines are color coded, so all these products will be found in this kind of pink packaging. Some of you may know I actually don't typically love cream cleansers for makeup removal, so it was a little bit of a gamble for me to decide to use just this for 2 months, but I was pleasantly surprised by how much I like it. I feel like it has the right consistency for a makeup removing cream. It spreads over the skin really effortlessly, and it has a really nice subtle smell that to me smells just like fresh picked berries, like when you're going out and picking raspberries. That's what it smells like, and it also did not irritate my eyes at all. It's not the most effective product I've tried for breaking down makeup, but as someone who wears lighter complexion products, not a lot of coverage or a ton of eye makeup, nothing crazy long wearing, it did the job just fine. I was totally satisfied with the amount of makeup it removed as a first cleanse. However, I would say if you are someone who wears like a lot of eyeliner, liquid lipsticks, anything like that, it might not be the best fit for you. The one con I have with this product is that it does really stick to the skin, and that makes it kind of difficult to remove. However, I'm giving Ole Henriksen a pass because the directions do say to remove this product with a damp cloth, and they even include that face cloth for you. So I knew going into it that this wasn't going to be a product I could just quickly splash off at the sink, and it does remove really well with a face cloth. So I'm a little bit more neutral on that. I don't really see it as a super negative thing. I feel like if they hadn't implied so heavily that a specific removal method was necessary, then I probably would have been annoyed. I'm still more likely to purchase a balm or an oil over the Wonderfeel cleanser, but I do enjoy it and I will definitely use it up. I would say if you are a huge fan of cold creams, or you do just have a drier skin type and you want a hydrating cleanser, then this is worth checking out. My primary cleanser for the past 2 months has been the Clean Truth Foaming Cleanser. I did already have experience with this product because I used it back when it was called the African Red Tea Foaming Cleanser. This is the same product, just new name, new packaging. This does still contain red tea, which I have covered in the past, but tea ingredients are typically used for their abundance in antioxidants. This also contains, you know, brightening and collagen boosting vitamin C and enzymatic pumpkin. Naturally, since I had just finished using Kylie Skin, I compared this product a lot to her cleanser in my mind because the Kylie Skin cleanser is one of the only other foam cleansers I have tried in recent years. Now for foam cleansers, I don't mind this product. As a whole, I'm not a huge fan of foam cleansers. They're definitely not my first choice, but I feel like this is one of the better options in that category. It has a thin soapy lather and a light citrus scent. It wasn't sensitizing or stripping for my skin at least, and I didn't experience the kind of dullness and the clouded complexion that I did when using the Kylie Skin cleanser. Now I couldn't find anything on the pH level of this cleanser online, but just based off of my results, I'm assuming it's not so alkaline. Once again, just an assumption, I'm not 100% sure, but I didn't have the negative side effects that you typically associate with a cleanser with a higher pH, so that is really good. Ole Henriksen says you can use this cleanser to remove your makeup, but I would not recommend it for that purpose because even when I would use the Wonderfeel cleanser and follow up with this, I feel like it didn't even remove the little bit of makeup that was left over. So when I would go in with my toner on a cotton round, I would still pick up a little bit of makeup. Since I am finishing up Ole Henriksen now, I did try the Wonderfeel cleanser with a different second cleanse just out of curiosity, and when I used my toner after that, there was no makeup left over. Obviously, this isn't an issue when using it in the morning or on nights when I hadn't worn makeup. You guys know I have pretty specific preferences when it comes to cleansers, and this product doesn't really fit what I'm looking for, but I'm pretty neutral on it. I don't really have any strong feelings on it. I didn't mind using it for the 2 months, but I wouldn't repurchase it, and honestly, that was the exact same way I felt about it the last time I tried it 4 or so years ago, so my opinion really hasn't changed. Let's talk toner. I tried the Glow 2.0 Dark Spot Toner, and I am madly in love with this product. It is a super potent glycolic and lactic acid blend, and it is everything. If you saw my Holy Grail skincare video this summer, I mentioned the Derma E Glycolic Acid Radiance Toner, and I had already been using this product for about a couple weeks when I filmed that video, and I already knew that it was going to replace the Derma E as my favorite, but obviously I couldn't mention it in a Holy Grail favorites video when I had only been using it for 2 weeks. It was killing me to not talk about this product, and don't get me wrong, I still love the Derma E toner, but as an avid AHA user, this is just stronger and even more effective. I still think if you have really sensitive skin or you've never tried chemical exfoliation before, you should start off with the Derma E instead, but if you are a little bit more well seasoned like me, maybe you already tried tried the Derma E toner based off of my recommendation and it worked well for you, I strongly urge you to try this toner next. This is my top recommendation from this video. Like, if you only want to try one product from Ole Henriksen, I think it should be this one. I use this in my nighttime routine and it did sting and leave me a little bit red when I first started using it. Nothing alarming or out of the ordinary for AHAs though, and my skin did adjust after about a week of using it. I do still experience a light tingle though, which I personally really like. But for the past 2 months, I have been getting so many compliments on my skin, and not just regular compliments. It's been like, your skin looks the best it has ever looked. What have you been doing? Why is your skin so glowy and so smooth? I don't know what you've changed, but it is doing amazing things for your skin kind of compliments, and it has been this toner. It has been phenomenal for my hyperpigmentation, my texture, my pores, and my overall tone. It has truly shown me incredible resurfacing benefits, and it does also contain witch hazel, licorice root, and lemon. Just a really great blend of balancing and brightening ingredients. And I don't have dark spots per se, but as the name does imply, it's also a great product if you do struggle with pigmentation that is related to sun damage or anything like that. It's just been another transformative product for me, and it is a product I will repurchase over and over again. Okay, next up are face masks. I tried the Cold Plunge Pore Mask. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this product or you've seen it online because it has a very distinctive bright turquoise color. This product is inspired by a Nordic tradition where you would sit in hot water or in a hot sauna for 10 minutes and then immediately immerse yourself in ice cold water. This is really great for stimulating circulation and lymphatic drainage, so it is a really great detoxifying process for your body. And not to show my like ultra Canadian side, but I have actually done kind of a version of this where I've like sat in a hot spring and then I've gone and rolled in the snow immediately after, and it is super invigorating, but it does really make you feel fantastic. This face mask is meant to mimic that effect in your skin, so it's designed to detoxify and diminish your pores and texture. I use this twice a week for the entire 2 months, sometimes probably more like 3 times a week. It is a creamy clay, so it does dry a little bit, but it doesn't get like tight or cracky or anything like that, and it remains really easy to remove. If I'm being nitpicky, the one thing I don't love about this mask is that when you do add water and start to remove it, it does lather a little bit. And I don't know why, it's just kind of like a weird hang up I have where I've never liked that in a mask, because I feel like I need to work extra hard to make sure I'm getting it all off my skin, even though I've already removed it all, just because I feel like my skin's going to get irritated if I accidentally leave any soapy residue on my face. Just kind of a weird thing I have personally. I was afraid this mask was going to be like 15 minutes of pure freezing ice on my ultra sensitive skin, but to my surprise you mostly feel the cooling sensation when you are removing it, in my personal opinion. It does have some peppermint in it, so it's got like a light cooling effect while you are wearing it. So I really like that. It makes a lot more sense to me because I'm sure you guys have all heard that hot water or hot temperatures kind of open your pores. Of course they are not physically opening and closing like a door, but basically it just kind of helps to loosen up any blackheads or dirt or sebum or bacteria that are in your pores, and then cold water or cold temperatures kind of close your pores back up and kind of tighten your skin. So I really liked using this mask fresh out of a warm shower because I could apply it right away while my pores were open, and it would kind of work its magic while it was on, and then when I removed it, it would kind of cool everything down and close my pores back up again. I feel like if it was just super cooling the entire time, it wouldn't be as effective. Hopefully this is making sense. I've really enjoyed using this mask. It also contains a blend of chemical exfoliants, which you guys know I will take any time, any place. The more the merrier in my opinion. Not really, because you don't want to over exfoliate, but you guys get what I mean. It's revitalizing and stimulating. It left my skin feeling refreshed and clean without being drying due to the inclusion of avocado oil. Pores aren't typically a huge concern for me, but I do feel like it balanced out my skin and controlled my oil production well, especially considering it has been summer. So I would definitely repurchase this face mask. So unfortunately, between the start of this 2 months and now, the other face mask I was using from Ole Henriksen has been discontinued. You guys know I like to do a weekly chemical peel, so I chose the Instant Transformation Lemon Facial Peel to use every Sunday night, and this has been discontinued now. It is only available in the Power Peel Facial System from Ole Henriksen, which is like a 3-step skincare set. I think it's like 6 treatments for like $50 or something like that. I'm assuming this product was discontinued because Ole Henriksen did just release their new Fat Glow facial mask. Unfortunately, I have not tried that product. I considered buying it for this review, but I figured it would be too similar and too repetitive with this product. Go figure, but I am disappointed because had I known this was discontinued, I would have tried that product for you guys. Hopefully I can test out that mask in the near future and update you guys in an upcoming video or maybe on my Instagram or something like that, because I have been hearing absolutely great things and I really want to see if it lives up to the hype. I did really like this product, but unfortunately it's just not really worth including anymore and really going into detail. I have used the Power Peel once or twice, but it has been years and I don't feel, comfortable enough to review it since I really don't remember much about it. Even though I like this, I can't recommend that product just for this one step. Our next skincare category is serums, and you guys already know I love the Truth Serum because it was in my Holy Grail skincare video, so I want to keep this semi-brief. One of the top skincare questions I get all the time is, what is your favorite vitamin C serum? And this is your answer right here. I started using this back when I was on Accutane and my hyperpigmentation was much more severe, and I have loved it for the results ever since. I use vitamin C primarily for the brightening effects, and this product contains a really nice blend of vitamin C, but one of the first ingredients is a water-soluble form called sodium ascorbyl phosphate. So once again, water-soluble vitamin C is really great for a brightening effect. If you want more of the collagen boosting plumping, then you're best to look for a fat or oil soluble vitamin C. And on top of helping my pigmentation left over from acne, it does give my skin a beautiful instant radiance boost. So I actually had this bottle prior to the 2 months, so I am almost out of it now because I have been using it every morning. Thankfully, I do already have a backup. It feels very nourishing. It has a nice amount of slip. I love the lightweight, non-sticky texture. I love the sweet citrus smell. I feel like I don't need to go into too much more detail. I feel like the fact that this is my #1 recommendation for a brightening vitamin C serum kind of speaks for itself. So the other serum I tried was the Glow Cycle Retinol Power Serum. I'm actually going to touch on this serum and the Goodnight Glow Retinol Sleeping Cream at the same time. These products get the name retinol because they contain a plant-derived retinol alternative called bakuchiol, and I have never talked about bakuchiol on my channel before. It's an ingredient that is really gaining popularity recently, so I wanted to do kind of like a mini ingredient spotlight for those of you who aren't familiar with it. And by the way, I'm not 100% sure if I'm saying that right. I watched a lot of videos where people talk about this ingredient to kind of try and figure out how to say it, but there's so many different versions: bakuchiol, bakuchiol. I'm just gonna say bakuchiol. Sorry if that's wrong. Bakuchiol comes from a herb called the babchi plant, and it is commonly used in Eastern medicinal practices because it is anti-inflammatory and antibacterial, and just like retinol, it is said to be great for speeding up the cell regeneration process. However, since it is plant-derived, it is supposed to be much more suitable for sensitive skin and not kind of cause some of the more negative side effects like the dryness and the irritation that you see with traditional retinol. So my original plan for my Ole Henriksen skincare routine was to use the Glow 2O toner and one of my other moisturizers on most nights, and then 1 or 2 nights a week I was going to use this combination. And unfortunately, I am lumping these together because they did not agree with my skin. Whenever I would use these products, I would have kind of like a combination reaction of red bumps and breakouts together. To be extra certain, I use these products individually, I use them together, I use them for a few days in a row, and every single time it was the same reaction. So I gave up on these products after about 5 weeks because I was loving the results of the Glow 2O toner so much more, and I felt like every time I used these it kind of undid the results I was seeing from that product, so it just wasn't really worth it. I'm not 100% sure what the root of the problem is because this is my first time using bakuchiol, at least to my knowledge. And like I said, this is meant to be an incredible ingredient for sensitive skin, so I'm not going to completely write it off. I will still be open to trying it in the future, but I can confidently say that these products aren't for me. So as for now, when it comes to retinol, I'm going to stick with my Sunday Riley Luna Night Oil. So I did try 2 other moisturizers from Ole Henriksen. I chose the Counterbalance Oil Control Hydrator as my main day cream, so we are going to start off with this one. The idea behind this moisturizer is to provide oily skin with a nice balancing hydration that's going to control oil, mattify, and minimize pores. We all know by now that everybody needs adequate hydration. No matter what your skin type is, you should be using a moisturizer. This is a very light lotion and it has a herbal, spa-like, almost slightly medicinal kind of smell, which a lot of brands seem to add to their oily skin ranges for some reason. Not really a scent I love, but it doesn't linger, so I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me too much. And this does have an airtight pump, so you can see I've used up to about there on this product. I find I did need to use 2 2.5 to 3 pumps of this moisturizer just to get a nice even layer over my entire face, which really surprised me because even though it's meant to control oil, it doesn't have a dry or matte consistency like some products will. It just doesn't spread super well, and because of this, I found when I would use my physical sunscreen over top of this, the SPF would kind of stick and it would result in a temporary white cast. This contains green tea, algae, rosehip, which I love of course, and glycolic, lactic, and salicylic acid, which makes me want to double back and reiterate, Ole Henriksen, why do you not have an SPF in your line if you're putting AHAs in so many different products? But anyways, I did like this moisturizer. Spoiler alert, I did like the Sheer Transformation a little bit more, but this was best for me in my makeup prep. I like that it's not suck the life out of your skin mattifying, but it did still make a noticeable difference in how my makeup wore in my oilier areas. I do feel like it's a good balance of oil control, but nice lightweight hydration. I don't know if I would repurchase this product. I would definitely be more inclined to if it did contain an SPF and also if the scent was different, but I will continue to use it on days when I need my makeup to really last. Like I implied, the Sheer Transformation Cream has been my favorite moisturizer from Ole Henriksen. This is unscented and has a lovely whipped texture, so it's not too heavy, but it immediately perks up the skin and just gives this really nice plump hydration. I remember back when I worked at Sephora, we realized that if you apply this on the back of your hand, you can literally look at both your hands and see the instant brightening effect that it gives, which is really cool because I feel like it also does translate to your face as well. So this is in blue packaging, means it's from the same Transform line as the Glow 2.0 toner. So this is also meant to target dark spots and even out your skin tone. So this is formulated with brightening natural fruit acids and licorice root, and it just gives a really beautiful finish to the skin. However, I do find that this moisturizer does make me a little bit extra oily throughout the day or night depending on when I apply it. So that is why I do prefer the Counterbalance moisturizer if I am going to be wearing makeup. If I wasn't wearing makeup, I would still use this during the daytime because I love the feel of it and I don't personally mind if my bare face looks oily through the day. It doesn't really bother me. I think this is a product that all skin types could use, but I think it's going to come down to your personal preference on how you want your skin to look if you're using it as a day cream. I think if you're like a notch down from me in the skin type department, like your more traditional middle of the road normal skin, then you'll probably be fine using this under makeup. But the good news is if you are more combo to oily like me and you only want to use it at nighttime, you will still see those great long-term brightening effects. So I would definitely repurchase this moisturizer, and I've used up quite a bit of it considering it's only been 2 months. Like I've used up just under half, I would say, because I love just like loading it on, bringing it down my neck and onto my shoulders and everything as well. Very happy to say we only have 2 products left in this video. I have the Banana Bright Eye Cream, and I did also decide to include the Banana Bright Face Primer in this video because I always get questions on my Tatcha review about the Silk Canvas Primer and if I have tried it, so I figured you guys would probably want to hear about it as well. And I mean, it's meant to be a primer with skincare benefits, so it fits. Finally, an eye cream in this series that I love. If you have watched every video in this series, then you probably know haven't had the best track record with eye cream, so I'm absolutely ecstatic to finally have a product in this series for the eye area that I can actually recommend. The Drunk Elephant eye cream stung my eyes, the Sunday Riley eye cream gave me milia, the Tatcha eye cream was okay, but it wasn't really great for my needs and it was also really expensive. Thankfully, I do not have any of those products with the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright eye cream. I had used this eye cream before here and there, so I knew I liked it well enough, and I'm not going to lie, it took me like a solid 5 weeks of continuous twice-a-day use to really fall in love with it and see results. So like with most skincare, some patience is most likely going to be required, especially if you're looking to target things like dark circles. I was pretty neutral on it at first. I've tried a lot of eye creams and it's definitely on the lighter side. It also has kind of a yellow tint to it to cancel out purple tones, as well as a very microscopic shimmer to give kind of an instant brightening effect on top of the yellow tone. Don't worry though, it's very subtle. It's not something you're going to have to worry about accentuating texture or anything like that, and it is also formulated with vitamin C. I have been very tired this summer and it has definitely been showing in my eye area, but around 5 weeks I started noticing like, okay, my eyes are looking a little bit brighter and just kind of overall healthier. I genuinely saw an improvement with this product, so I'm going to say it lives up to the hype for me. Once again, if I am being nitpicky, it's a little bit thinner than I typically like in an eye cream. I usually like my eye cream to have a little bit more of like a cushiony kind of feel, but it wears totally fine under concealer, so no real complaints there. One thing I did see in reviews is that quite a few people seem to experience a reaction and they actually get a rash under their eyes from this eye cream. I didn't experience that at all, like no irritation or issues here whatsoever, but I think that's something to be aware of, and it might be worth getting a sample if that is something you are concerned with. But overall, this is definitely another product I'm going to continue to use and would repurchase in the future for sure. Finally, we will quickly touch on the Banana Bright Face Primer before I share my final thoughts. Of course, I love the idea of a primer with vitamin C. I really like the texture of this. It also has kind of like a golden beige luster, so I found it very flattering on my skin tone, but every time I use this, my makeup separated so badly. I had a dumb moment because at first I thought it was the moisturizers that were the issue, but I was like, even the oil control hydrator is breaking down my makeup, like that can't be right. And then I realized I had been using this primer every single time I wore makeup, and I took this out of the equation and my makeup stopped separating. I do still think this is a really good product, especially if you are looking for a brightening primer, but I would only recommend it for normal to dry skin types. Of course, if you've tried this product and you have a different skin type, please share your thoughts down below. So, my final thoughts on Ole Henriksen. Overall, I was very satisfied with this skincare routine, and what I mean by that is that when I typically do these 2-month brand reviews, it's hard for me to actually stick with the brand I'm using. Of course, I always do. I'm very strict with myself, but I always find myself wanting to use other products at certain points, even if I love the product that I'm using at the moment. So I was very content, and I think a large part of that is the fact that there are so many great chemical exfoliation options. I mean, I found a new holy grail product for me, and also they do have my favorite vitamin C serum, and those are kind of the two things that I feel like I really need in my routine. The one thing I missed was their Rosehip Oil. I was so disappointed when I saw that they had discontinued their Pure Truth oil because I love that beauty oil, and I feel like the addition of that one product would have completely rounded out this routine, but I was okay without it. Aside from the retinol products, nothing from Ole Henriksen gave me any issues, so I would gladly continue using any of these products. Like if I was in some weird situation where someone was forcing me to only use Ole Henriksen for the rest of my life, then I would be totally okay with that. And just as a little bonus, I really like the price point of Ole Henriksen products. It's a lot more in my comfort zone compared to the other kind of high-end Sephora skincare brands we have tried, like Drunk Elephant, Tatcha, Sunday Riley. The Ole Henriksen products are definitely more affordable by comparison. That's where we're going to wrap up this video, you guys. Like I mentioned in a previous video, I am going to be taking a brief break from this series because I really just needed to take some time to like use whatever products I want and try out some other things that have been sitting in my skincare collection that I'm dying to test out. But then I will be doing one more 2-month brand review at the very end of the year, so I'm going to be starting that in the beginning of November. Some of you will already know what brand I'm doing next, but I will be officially announcing that on my Instagram in the near future, so make sure you're following me there at SariReanna if you aren't already, because everyone on Instagram gets kind of the inside scoop. You hear everything first. But you guys know I am working through these brands in the order that they are most highly requested, so if there is a brand you want to see, leave it in the comments down below as always. I think in the new year I am going to switch to doing like 1 month / 6 week brand reviews instead of 2 months every single time, just so I can, you know, create more content for you guys basically and review more brands. We shall see. Anyways, give this video a thumbs up if you found it informative, helpful, interesting, anything like that. Go follow me on social media. I'm at SariReanna on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe down below if you're new for more skincare content, but I will talk to you guys in the next one.